This video is sponsored by Surfshark. 2024 has been quite the year for lost media, especially for lost and unknown music. So here are the most mysterious songs that were found this year. In July of 2007, user Pressveva posted a clip to What's That Song, a site used for identifying music. What's That Song is going to be a recurring character in this video. It wasn't until 15 years later, when Mike Worst uploaded the unknown tune to his channel. After amassing around 200,000 views by the end of 2023, the search had piqued the interest of many, and people even got into contact with the original uploader. This was the key to solving it. He had the SD card that Dance for Hours a Day was stored on, and provided another song from it, which sounded like it could be the same artist. This audio file's metadata said it was the band RTP from the album Demo. They discovered that RTP stood for Royal Treatment Plant, and headed to their Discogs. An EP had a song titled Funky. It seemed like this was it, we just had to actually find a way to listen to it. On January 9th, user Cherry Blossom Cherish went to the drummer's website, where she had Funky in the audio section. Sure enough, it was Dance for Hours a Day, and the nearly 17-year-long mystery was over. We got enough of the right stuff, rise above the clouds. In December of last year, a user named Curlo claimed he had a pirated Mr. Peabody and Sherman DVD, and couldn't figure out what the song used for the menu was. Bootleg DVD menus were in at the time, since a different lost song, How Long Will It Take, was from one. Curlo alleged that How Long motivated him to go through his pirated DVDs from childhood. Roughly a month later, someone else coincidentally posted a different part of the song, trying to identify it as well. They revealed they had the entire thing, saying the file name was touchthesky.mp3. Searching for songs titled Touch the Sky didn't get anywhere. Cody from the Fond My Mind Discord began searching for This One's Gonna Fly instead. On January 29th, he came across a song with that title by the artist Templeton Thompson. It wasn't readily available on YouTube or anything, but this too was found on the artist's website, and it was above the clouds. However, user The Normal Elevator 32 then found Curlo's Last FM account, and he had listened to Templeton Thompson merely days before crafting his post, meaning he knew the song from the beginning. While unfortunately a hoax, it was still a significant search this year.
There's a man who stands upon a hill, looking down to the people he has killed, and it's only one by one. And he will make or break your days around and look the other way.
ArtB91 on musicbanter.com was looking for a song that he heard on the radio in 2012 or 13. He linked a SoundCloud of the audio and said, "Please help." No one helped Arthur for 5 years, but it did eventually gain traction. He was still active and responding to comments too, but all he knew for sure was that it was from a Ukrainian radio station. On February 19th, Trippy Drew did a YouTube search for The Man on the Hill before 2013. Doing this brings up results from before a specific year. The 9th result was a band called The Defended performing Man on a Hill in 2008. Realizing they'd likely just solved this, Trippy Drew went to Reddit saying, "There's a man potentially solved by myself." Within less than an hour, the full song by The Defended was hunted down. They've shown gratitude for the interest in their music, and now have a channel with official releases of some of their songs. Arthur left a comment on his SoundCloud, "Thanks to all people on the internet for helping with song identification. Heart." Most of these songs were found with the help of the internet, and if you're going to be online, safety and security are essential. A great way to ensure you're protected is by using Surfshark, today's sponsor. I know we've all heard what the definition of a VPN is, but they encrypt the information sent between your device and the internet, keeping both you and your data protected. There's a lot of cool perks of Surfshark that go beyond internet safety. My favorite is being able to change my location, because I get access to things like extra movies or shows on Netflix that aren't available in the US. Surfshark has an additional feature called Clean Web, which blocks annoying ads, even on smart TVs. It also allows you to connect to public Wi-Fi without any worry, so bring your devices while you chill in a cafe whenever your heart desires. If being protected online, changing your location at will, and avoiding pesky ads sounds good to you, try out Surfshark. Head to surfshark.com/KylieBoggly to get an extra 4 months free. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee if you aren't satisfied, so it's completely risk-free to give it a shot. Everything will be linked in the description. Now let's get back into it. Tip of My Tongue is a subreddit meant for helping people find the seemingly unfindable. eRobotic turned to the sub with a home video of him as a baby. Years ago, someone accidentally taped a music video over it. He always wondered what the song was, but it played for barely 3 seconds. The lyrics that can be heard sound like "the world was so easy," then it cuts back to the baby. Because of the logo in the corner, user Do Fletching figured out that it aired on the Canadian channel New Country Network between January 1st, 1995 and October 31st, 1996. While this narrowed it down, it was commented 3 whole years before it ended up being identified. eRobotic shared the clip on the Lost Wave subreddit, which is when it began to garner a following. Eventually, it got its own sub, with more people growing eager to find it. User Jade Lily Starchild decided to ask Chris Murphy from Sloan if he by any chance knew the song. He responded on February 20th and just so happened to recognize the guitarist, Asif Ilyas. He was in the band Big Picture, and user Lee Rosevere found the specific song in their collection of radio samplers. It's titled Just Passin' By. Asif wrote the song with Benny Fung on lead vocals. They got together for an acoustic performance. The band was from Halifax, the same city as Chris Murphy, which is how he knew them. Sometimes finding lost media is about finding the exactly right person to ask.
I never thought the world was so easily won. I can make it mine. You are sometimes right. Forget your problems, try to smile again.
Back in the early 2000s, a man named Marek had a website with a section dedicated to unknown songs. People could submit their own unidentified music, and Oscar wanted to know what a song he had heard on the radio was. He uploaded a 30-second clip with a description of, "I can make you smile if you sometimes cry." In 2005, Mark posted it to Spirit of Radio. Over the years, he was repeatedly led astray, and in 2018, someone made a suggestion that was very clearly not it. A YouTube upload of it popped off, and Oscar caught wind of people trying to find it. So after 20 years, he reemerged on Valentine's Day with the full recording of the song. He put in the description that it was from an Estonian radio station in the 90s, a detail that no one knew yet. User Rain Grisor stumbled upon Martin Jenus, an Estonian radio archivist, and a lot of his collection was from the same time period. Martin correctly guessed it was Sven Lomas's early works, likely the duo Beat Boy that he formed with his brother. Someone contacted Sven, who said it was Beat Boy's Braverly. This was on February 26th, and the next day, Mystic65 from the Discord was able to confirm this by finding it on Soulseek.
June arrived with a bitterness so cold. I looked
Andy Herman downloaded a song in 2008 with the file name downfall.mp3. He didn't remember where he specifically got it from and couldn't find the artist. He tried his luck with What's That Song in October of 2019. User Rojo Cato, who is actually Mike Worst, found a tweet that linked to a song on MySpace, Save Me Now by Downfall. Save Me Now is a lyric used in the unknown song, but it was unplayable on MySpace and they couldn't find anything about the band aside from the few tweets from this account. This was a red herring, as the person behind the Twitter assured it wasn't what we were looking for. On February 29th, user Cherry Blossom Cherish was back once again with her skills and made a post saying it was solved. She elaborated in the comments that she and another Discord member, Aaron, used a Last.fm API search to generate 8,000 results for Downfall. After creating a tool to isolate those results, she finally ran into The Downfall of a Well-Known Actress by Fair Verona. It didn't look like it was anywhere online, but she found it by going to an archive of their site from 2000. 3 out of 4 members got together for a podcast and invited Tom Stratton, who is a part of the community. He shared more about all of us who want to find a bunch of unknown music, and they reminisced on the days of Fair Verona.
Johnny in the middle of the park, waiting for tomorrow.
In 2020, Mr. Z-Sack thought a song used in an 80s Italian sports program was catchy and hoped someone could identify it. He also provided the Daily Motion link, but knowing the source didn't aid in finding it. Earlier this year in February, Trippy Drew, the solver of There's a Man, found Piero Cato while going through 80s Italian music on SoundCloud. Piero was a considerable lead in the search, but no one had found a matching song. A month later, on March 15th and 16th, Piero responded to several members of the search, saying it was in fact his 1983 song, Johnny in the Middle of the Park. The search for Zoltan started in May of 2019. Masika had a snippet of a Hungarian song that sounded like a parody of Moscow by Genghis Khan. Also, I feel like I'm mispronouncing almost every word in this video, but I promise I'm trying. The only info they provided was that they didn't have a longer version. There were a handful of comments the first day it was posted, and it received more recognition in 2021. 2023 is when interest was really increasing, though. Lost media can sometimes be found in a surprisingly simple way. It was March 28th when user PrudentFeature2412 literally just searched Zoltan on Dailymotion, and the music video showed up. It was used in a 2007 commercial for Crédit Agricole, a French international banking company. This is where Masika got their recording from. Most of the performers have been identified, and the lyricist's name is Zoltan. What's That Song user Had It on Vinyl uploaded a song on September 30th, 2023. The description was, "Sounds like a 90s or early 2000s Barbie girl song. Found on my dad's old CD with similar music, but I can't find anything for this one." He shared the rest of the CD, all with identifiable songs. Some thought that the CD, being a compilation of real songs, refuted the theory that this was a hoax. But the lengths that some people will go. Had It on Vinyl worked closely with others that were looking for it. In March, he told everyone his uncle contacted people from Malaga who remembered the song. He returned with more info, saying he found a list of song submissions from 2012, and one was called Lost in the Code by Emails. On April 4th, said song was posted to YouTube, and it was considered solved. Except this was entirely fabricated, and he was the same person as emails. He made the song on his own and said it was to prove a point or something. The sample was deleted from the site and is now an infamous case. You probably know the story. It feels a little funny to regurgitate it. I mean, I can recite it at this point, but in 2021, a man named Carl uploaded 17 seconds of a mysterious song that would later go completely viral. It's one of the most well-known pieces of lost media ever. This pink boombox was used in a YouTube upload of the clip, which is how it became a sort of symbol for EKT. There were endless leads that went nowhere. Eventually, after it was so popular but still wasn't identified, I lost hope it'd be found anytime soon. On April 28th, I was happy to be proven wrong. Everyone Knows That was found in the 1986 adult film Angels of Passion, its official title being Ulterior Motives, and made by twin brothers Christopher and Philip Booth. They're both awesome people who have been incredibly nice to everyone, and Christopher got the boombox tattooed on him, which is super cool. Someone on Facebook posted an Alice in Wonderland edit with a song in the background, wondering if anyone knew what it was. It's unclear where Sad Tomato got this from, but Daniel Gutierrez was sent a screen recording of it and made his own post on a lost media group. It was then uploaded to YouTube, which is when it really started circulating. People thought the band Gin and Tonic sounded similar, and one of the members, Richard Vox, ended up doing his own rendition in 2021. He was a little cryptic when being asked if he was the original singer from the Alice video, and some believed he was behind the song. This was debunked on May 16th when user JMike324 posted exciting news to the Lost Wave subreddit. He was talking to a classmate about the Cancion de Alicia, and to his pleasant surprise, she had heard it before. Not the unknown clip though, she legitimately knew the song. She said it was the Peruvian band Bad Influence. Once they went to the band's Facebook, it was identified as their song Dreams Forever. The online hunt for this one technically began in 2011, but it didn't receive substantial attention for a decade. This user had heard their mysterious song on Y Rock Radio in Philadelphia. Knowing the specific station initially seemed helpful, but CDI Fails found out that 18,000 unique songs were played in 2011, which would be daunting to comb through, if not impossible, even as a collaborative effort. Except user Bell420 hit the nail on the head with their theory that if it mentioned Back to Bed, it could also mention other times of the day. They were searching for different terms related to that and noticed Brighter Days by Jon Snow. The song was already on Vimeo and SoundCloud, which confirmed it to be Back to Bed. I have to wonder if most of these people ever find out that their posts from ages ago got solved. A user who went by Moreback recorded a song from an indie rock station in 2010 and made a post about it 3 years later. They noticed others were re-uploading it as well and were still eager to find it themselves. Moreback remained active throughout the search. After they said they were from Belarus, T. Zalandro Slumber figured they should dig into the Belarusian music scene. They contacted several bands that seemed promising and asked around, hoping a musician from Belarus would have an inkling. When this didn't solve it, they ventured into surrounding countries. In a Reddit post of theirs, they added that they reached out to Russian band Pompeia and were hoping for the best. On May 21st, they updated the subreddit with news of finding the song. Pompeia identified it as A Veil by the Burns. Stop Making Me Cry was posted late last year by user Pilo. It soon became highly sought after, with quite a bit of spotlight on it. Pilo thought the track was from the 2000s, and people were throwing out ideas on who the artist could be. Suggestions I noticed were Crystal Waters and TJ Davis. And there was a song by Helen Exner called Stop Making Me Cry, although this was proven to not be it. Lil Boy Cletus, or McKitty, decided to take a look at what other songs Pilo had on their account. On May 25th, he figured out the label for a solved sample was Genera Musica, which was connected to Genera Dance. Drive Me by K-Girls was listed on the label's Discogs. People were trying to find a way to listen to it. It took only 19 minutes thanks to Murphy, someone else in the Discord, who found the actual song, and it was it. NY 80s Tapes has a collection of, tapes from New York and New Jersey radio stations during 1980 to 86, and has 140 samples on What's That Song. Their most popular was given the placeholder title Uptown People, and that riff is seriously an earworm. This is another case that was solved in a relatively simple way. Someone just had to utilize the right search functions and have a sprinkle of luck. Tripork searched for post-punk albums 1984, site YouTube, in-text 1984, then went to a channel that was one of the top results. They skimmed through several channels until coming across Dolce Vita's self-titled album on Obscure Alternatives. 9 minutes in, Uptown People started to play. It's their 1984 song, Break Down Those Walls. The entirety of it is just as catchy as the short snippet.
And now I know it's just a game. I don't need the rules to play.
Gabor72 joined What's That Song in 2018, and over time made a total of 107 posts. On December 22nd of that year, he uploaded what's known as Just a Game. 5 years later, the search took off, and it was a main point of interest within the community. Back in May, though, it was sadly discovered that Gabor passed away on March 6, 2024. People really wanted to find it in honor of him. His daughter got into contact with those that were looking for it, and she was now determined to help solve it as well. She found the full song on his computer on June 30th, which resulted in it being found the very next day on July 1st. It is titled Just a Game by Change to Win, and was made for a German fundraiser in 1988. I'm thankful this made it onto the list of songs found this year, and may Gabor rest in peace. Our beloved What's That Song launched in 2006, and this one's from the site's first year. The sample was popularized after 17 years via Q's channel, who post unidentified songs nearly every day and is a huge help to the community. It was a pretty short snippet coming in at 15 seconds. Less than EKT, but more than World Was So Easy, so the duration wasn't gonna stop anyone from finding it. The biggest lead yet happened on July 23rd of this year. While watching BMW 3Z ads, user NCC1701 Alpha was shocked when they realized one of the commercials had tension rising in the background.
No? All right. I'd like to look at your car.
Mind if we take your car for a test drive, sir?
Someone commented, "No leads in 20 years, people are quivering and shaking right now." JDT Spring then found a Reddit post from 2023 asking for the song used in the same Z3 commercial. And it didn't take long for people to realize Tension played 4 separate times in a 1991 film that I couldn't pronounce no matter how many times I tried. This is how it was identified as Into Paradise by Michael Hoffman and Martin Nethercutt.
Things just ain't the same for Osama. So much drama since the World Trade bombing, and the Pentagon got the whole world calling me the killer of...
In the 2000s, an Osama bin Laden diss track surfaced online and was commonly misattributed to Eminem. The earliest known mention was from a 2006 forum, although origins of the song remained unknown, and no one knew who the singer truly was. In August, Nostalgist32X found mentions from 2002 of Osama vs. Dre by Jamie North. This was debunked, but 8 days after this post, the real artist was finally identified. The title is Osama vs. Dre, and its release year is 2002, but it's by Canadian rapper Decisive. Kobe Sucks, who had a part in solving this, has a great video on the mystery that goes way more in depth. In 2015, a channel that translates to No to War in German uploaded a video that contained several unknown songs from an old tape. He said all the bands were probably from Switzerland, and he remembered the title of this one being Complex, with a male and female singer. The name Cheer caught on after he put the clip in another video, and due to an editing mistake, it had the word cheer in it. 7 seconds of an instrumental part. It was going to be difficult to find. Took almost 10 years, but Trabiel found a band on swisspunk.ch called Het, who had a song called Strange Complex. 3 days later, we had the entire song, and I gotta commend the original uploader for having such a great memory. If he didn't remember the title having complex in it, I have no idea how it would have been found. People also confirmed with one of the band members that the lyrics aren't about drinking piss. Poor guy had to say it wasn't about water games. This was a song I covered in a previous video and had been following prior to that, so I was happy to see it get solved. In 2016, Skateboard Mommy 3 posted a video on Instagram of her skating. There was an indie song playing in the background, and plenty of commenters were asking, "Song?" She either didn't know it, or decided that gatekeeping was the answer. Over the past 8 years, it was posted to various subreddits like Tip of My Tongue and Name That Song. No one could ever place it though. On October 21st, user 300BO found it on the Lazy Lazy Me channel. It's Lonely Nights by Working Girls featuring Tamsin Anderson. I wasn't surprised considering that channel has always posted obscure indie music, but it was funny to me because I was subscribed to them in 2017 and used to listen to the songs they'd upload. One of the members' spouses found a post about it, and said it was cool for all of them to find out people had been trying to identify it for years. Ziggy05 uploaded this in 2012, but had already been looking for years before that. They heard it in a bar, and although the DJ didn't even know what it was, he gave them the song on a memory stick. Posts would periodically show up with people wanting to figure this out, but there weren't many leads other than someone finding a SoCan for People Rushing by Christensen David, which wasn't it. This one was only solved because the band created a topic channel for some of their music in September. No one realized this until October 24th, when people were like, wait, what? It's found now? It's The Streets by Boardline. They were an English nu metal band and released this song in 2002. They disbanded shortly after. The final boss of lost music. The most mysterious song on the internet. In 2007, Lydia and her brother Darius turned to the internet with an unknown song that had plagued them since 1984. While there were comments and people interested at the time, it wasn't until Wang covered it in 2019 when TMS blew up within the lost media community. Everyone knew about the hunt, and it seemed like everyone was looking for it. This song is how I became so invested in lost media. Popularity would ebb and flow, considering whenever a possible lead showed up, it'd eventually be met with disappointment. People searched far and wide. Although I thought EKT would go unsolved for longer than it did, I genuinely believed there was a chance TMS would never be found. It's arguably the most well-known lost song, and the search started 17 years ago, yet every lead was a dead end. Then there was the Horfest 84 theory. The German radio station NDR held an annual music festival for local bands in the 80s, and people speculated that it'd make perfect sense if the mysterious band played a show there. It took months until they got anywhere with it, but on November 4th, this mythical thing was found. I had to do a double take when I saw this post. User Marine1412 came across a newspaper article about the band Fex, and how they won a talent contest in September of 1984. They successfully got in touch with one of the members. He happily sent over old material, one being a song called
Subways of Your Mind.
I wish I knew exactly how it felt when Marine pressed play and realized they'd solved it. Fex has been wonderful, and they were actually all still in contact with each other. They've provided live performance audio from the 80s, and on November 7th performed it together again. So surreal. You think of it as this mysterious, fabled thing, and then one day you're watching the guys play it. In spite of my doubts, once the Celebrity No. 6 mystery was solved, I somehow called it. But I wanted to say, mysterious song, you're next. Or please be next. I know there's still a month left in 2024 and that some will be found in December, but I'd been planning this video since April or May, and just had to end it with the mysterious song being found. I hope you did enjoy this video, and we'll see what the last days of the year have in store for lost media. I wanted to thank every person that helps find these songs, every channel that helps popularize them, the Lost Waves Finest Wiki for being such a good resource, and of course the artists behind the songs themselves. And thank you.